Morning, Sagittarius. It is pretty early. All right, so welcome to space. If you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. If you're returning here, hold on. We need a little sass today. Hence, I'm wearing my mom gave me the Stetson. Pretty excited about it. Needed a little zip this morning. Okay, so. Well, I wanted to say happy birthday to everyone this time frame. So happy birthday, Sagittarius. Happy birthday to you. I'm happy you're alive. Yep. That in and of itself, awesome. Right? Gives a lot of opportunities when one is alive to do things. So, I guess be grateful. Okay, so this is Venus time when I'm recording this, and, you know, Libra time, Venus time, it's interesting. It's, there's a duality with Libra somewhat, with that energy, because it's two scales, right? So it's kind of like, there could be really awesome, beautiful things that are happening that you love and you're participating with and creating with. And then there can be equally, like, difficulty in some kind of way. So try to take the good with the bad whenever you're dealing with the latter there. And I do feel like there's going to be some times where you're kind of like, how to explain that card? I tried to use funny cards too because I felt like I needed some humor. Like we needed some humor or something. Don't let anybody else's funky, if you will, or like anyone else's coldness or whatever, stop you from loving, right? Especially understanding the loving, like the power of love in yourself and what you give to the world, okay? Your family, whoever. All right, speaking of that, let's see what the first card is. Okay, so maybe someone feels a little, good morning, Crow. I was up before the crow? Huh. Good. I'll take that. Well, someone's got a really weird perception of, what love is. I'm trying to laugh at this card, but it's almost like, but I'm trying not to say the wrong thing, because honestly, I wanted to say something a bit crass or like kind of really call it for what it is or what it's acting like or what it's looking like, but I'm trying to reserve my words a little bit so that we speak with love versus to ensure that one speaks with love, I guess. Somebody could owe somebody a bit of an apology also. Like somebody should apologize because they didn't act right. But it's not that I don't even feel like they did it on purpose. It's like like they just didn't, it wasn't even a perception. But you're like, what did you say? Like, or lack of saying something, like really, I don't know if it hurt your feelings or what, but you're kind of like, wait a second. Okay, interesting. Let's keep moving. Okay, so you and Pisces are the last sign this month. Double Jupiter. Well, this is looking down at Mercury. Let's see. Someone is keeping how they feel all to themselves, or someone is so tangled up in their own BS. Why is that? They don't want to talk about it. Somebody doesn't want to talk about something. They're like, I don't want to talk about it. Or they're really stuck in their head. They don't know how, maybe they don't know how to talk about it, but someone doesn't want to talk about it, but it's making it real funky. Let's see what Saturn has to say. He can be helpful. Knight of Cups. Okay, love helps. An expression of love. Someone saying how they feel would help something so much untangle itself. But as this Knight of Cups is in the Saturn energy, it's almost like a restriction of love. Jupiter is also a bit restricted right now. What's that about? And Mercury is complacent, and Venus needs an apology. Holy smokes, we need some humor in here. It's too. We need some zip. We need some fire. Right now it's all water. It's all water. It's too watery. There's something too emotional here. But you know what it is? It's not even like deep, like that deep kind of like, oh my God, I feel so much. It's like a, what? It's that kind of, it's where the feelings bubble up here and then they blow out of your mouth. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, it's not like, oh my God, I love you. Or even like, oh, I'm so fucking angry. It's not that. It's like, what? Like it's kind of a, it's weird. It's a weird, this is a weird energy. It's not necessarily bad, like, overall, but there's something here that's causing, right, because we're in Libra time. Again, I guess you take the good with the bad. If you get some funky tied up things going on, or you need an apology for someone, or someone's not being, like, expressive or holding back or being moody or like just kind of stagnant, somebody's stagnant, you know, so like someone's being a bump on a log, you know, I don't know, I guess it could just be somebody's bumming. But if that's the case, whether this is you or someone you're dealing with, try to find the positive that's in your life. Talk to people that, yes, get in touch with somebody that's like outside of that circle that makes you feel good. Okay? I feel like I'm scowling. I need an ashtray. Just a second. I got my union suit on. Hold on. I'm early. It's early. I'm allowed to be in my pajamas. Half with my cowboy hat. Okay. Let's look at the sun. That's always helpful. That's a positive light. That was hard to pick up. Why was it so hard to pick up? Okay, here we go. Here's your card. So I kind of saw this in the beginning. I feel like in this time frame, you're going to have to satisfy yourself. You may not be that satisfied with other people emotionally. Could this be partially your own doing? or your own wrap-up of things, because we'll do a little astrological lesson. Neptune rules Pisces. It's in Pisces. This is a square to you. So it's going to teach you great faith about something, right? Great faith in your heart about life overall. Your spiritual space has probably been, expanding in some kind of way, but I bet there's also tests of that faith deeply, right? So I guess remember to please yourself, say you haven't been on, somebody hasn't taken you on a date, or, your kids are in the way, or somebody's stuck on something. It's like, well, I don't know, put on your outfit and enjoy your own time. Enjoy yourself. Don't forget to do that. That'll help a little bit. I do see, though, if you drink, don't try to self-soothe or like what's your coping mechanism when others aren't satisfying you emotionally? What do you do to fill yourself emotionally? You have to please yourself. But I know it would be better if you were somebody else, I guess, was pleasing you. Maybe that's a conversation that needs to be had about what you need. I don't know. But the thing is I feel like you have no swords here, really. So there's something about maybe it's just not, if something's not accessible because it's too watery again. But again, this isn't like a beautiful day at the beach. This isn't like a gorgeous lake. It's not even a brook or a stream. It's like a puddle. It's like a sinkhole or something. But it feels like it's kind of in the way, but it's around you, but you're not really, I don't know. I guess you could be kind of ignoring it, or you're trying to. You're trying to be like, all right, I'm gonna figure this. I'll just deal with it. I'll deal with it. And I do see that you have a good attitude. You're a very optimistic sign. But there's something where it's like, psst, teeth smacking. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, that was another thing. Maybe this would be a good time for you to work on yourself. Take care of your own health. Make sure that your finances are good. Like, make sure that things are tidy. The house is clean. All your things, they're in the right places. Maybe you want to organize some things that could be helpful. And especially I see, please pay attention. Part of, you had a reading a long time ago that was called Wealth is Health. And so remember that, I know, we all have habits, right, that probably aren't perfect or whatever, and that's fine, but it's kind of like, overall, you want to make sure in this time frame, make sure that you're making a good example, okay? Not being too excessive anywhere. Because there is a difference how people go about things. Like, some people know how to temper themselves. People know to be like, okay, yeah, I do that, but I only do this much of it, and only now and again. There's this other energy that's like, ga, 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 you know, just too much all at once. So again, in this time frame, what would be important to help you feel stronger as a person, again, is to pay attention to your health and to your money. Your health and your wealth, right? I mean, these are the same thing, but pay attention to your money. Make sure that's good and solid. Even if you have a partner, spouse, roommates, whatever, and, you know, that's contributing to the whole. I see that it would be helpful for you to think about if you had to handle it all on your own. This also includes all the tasks that you need to do at home. And most importantly, you know, the thing is, yeah, sometimes we need it's really helpful to have love from other people, emotional exchanges. But you know what? A lot of people are also wrapped up in their own stuff. Now, of course, this is your reading. You want to check what your, you know, what we talked about earlier and how you relate to that, but focus on your own, maybe this time. And it's interesting because every other sign was like mostly talking deeply about we, but this is almost like this time frame is actually really good for you to focus on yourself. Well, that makes sense, because when your birthday comes, when the end of the year comes, this is a sextile this time, which in short means in Jupiter in December time, what happens? It's all about the group. It's everybody else, right? Like, oh, it's Christmas. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's never, and especially if you're a Sagittarius sun, you know, your birthday is never even your birthday, right? Because even if you're born in the early part of the month, it's still Christmas time-ish, so you don't even get your own day, really. It doesn't feel like that, right? It's like, so, I don't know, maybe celebrate your birthday this month. Screw it. Do it. Take your, you know, have a birthday party this month. Appreciate yourself. Let's see, moon. Emperor. Okay, good. We needed that. Maybe Aries moon. I see a Saturn in water too, which is not, Saturn doesn't like water. Because water's too fluid and doesn't really have any boundaries, right? Saturn needs that boundary. Needs to know where it's at, you know, or what's going on. Now, look, you don't have any, again, you have the Queen of Swords on the bottom here, but that's kind of like a conversation you're having with yourself versus a conversation you're having with other people. It definitely is more watery here than anything. And you have two majors, so you want to trust yourself, but this is probably more of a bit of a quiet time. If there's been any underlying problems also, this is more past energy. I feel like that could be affecting. This is more having to do with other people. Try to make sure that you're being loving, but also remember your own power, okay? Like loving and understanding, but remember to respect yourself, okay? When someone has a clean house, that means that, you know, cleanliness is next to godliness. Someone has a clean house, they have a clean nose, clean hands, right? Then they are relinquished from certain things, right? It clears that energy, and it helps a person understand what they have when their house, when things are clean. When you know where, again, all the things are, then you're going to be like, okay, you feel more secure. Like, all right, well, I have this. I don't have that. All right, do I need this? No, I don't need that, but I can find that if I want it. I am so happy I woke up before the crow. Okay, about the middle of the month, Mars is going to be doing a weird thing, which it hasn't done for a long time. Which, in short, would express that, I guess anything that has been unhealthy could get to the point of causing a bigger problem if it's not resolved sooner than later, or addressed, what have you. There needs to be some kind of actions taken, because this stagnant water here, this, it's not healthy. And again, it could just be a restriction of emotion where it's kind of just like someone's like, do you love me? Or do you only want me for that? Like, am I only important for this? I saw someone buttering bread. Don't butter my bread. Ace of Pentacles. And there's the King of Cups. Let's, since we're here and we have a little bit more time. What's that song? If you can't love the one you want, love the one you got. Or maybe this is one of those things where someone does really care, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that. And in a way, are you even acting like you care? No, but that's why we're having this conversation here, so you can admit that. Where you're kind of like, I do care, but I don't want it to affect me too much, Because someone wants to do something, but it's like they feel like they can't. So the sun is technically rising right now. So there's light being shed in the darkness, right? We've watched the light grow here. Good. Maybe that's why we need to have this reading too. Just to show that there's light in the darkness, that with time, whatever is, I don't know. What time are you waking up these days? Let's see if you can do anything about the place where there's like a really tight path. The moon. Well, this goes back into this Emperor card. So Aries is important. I guess this is also expressing your ability to ease or soothe or please yourself, right? You want someone to buy you flowers. They're not buying you flowers. Buy yourself some flowers. You want someone to take you out on a date, buy you a glass of wine, listen to a record, you listen to some music, do it yourself. Queen of Wands, yep, take yourself out on a date. Do whatever it is that you want someone else to do it for yourself. For instance, you want someone to be like, oh man, I want someone to clean my house. It's like, no, you clean the house. Moon. There's a lot of moon energy here. You know, I guess it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, well, if the action isn't be taken, if you've communicated about it, or there's a lack thereof of communication, like you can't seem to get there, again, like push through, get through whatever this murky, because I guess this is sort of a swamp energy versus a puddle. It's a big puddle. I guess that's what creates a swamp, but it's, again, if the action isn't taken, remember, okay, this is the thing. You're in your head a lot, right? So you think, well, they should know how I feel. No one really knows how anyone feels unless we tell them. And even if a person is really, they're really intuitive. Like I thought about, I'll give you an example. I thought about this last night with myself. You know, this is my job to read, and not a mind reader, but like to tap into things and try to decipher the puzzle and all this kind of stuff. But like, and I love this. It's fascinating and artistic to me. It's really fun, but it's my job. In my personal life, in my interpersonal life, I don't want to mind read for anybody. I don't want to have to pull, like, claw through the clouds of illusion and delusion and people's confusion and hiddenness and all of that. Like, I just want someone to be like, dude, I'm feeling like this. I'll be like, oh, that's why you're acting like that. Because it's exhausting to try to have to figure out what's happening in silence with other people. It's exhausting, and so the point is that if you got something going on in your head, don't expect anyone to know how you feel. If you've expressed how you feel and you're not getting what you want emotionally in that way, or again, you're trying to have that conversation and it's kind of blocked, then give yourself whatever it is. Again, whatever it is that you're wanting from someone else, give it to yourself. I would also say again, focus on work, focus on your day-to-day, focus on your body, okay? Love yourself, all right? You want someone to, touch you? Well, touch yourself, right? You want someone to take action with something in your life? Well, you take the action. Make it happen. Because I don't feel like, it's not like you can't rely on other people, but there's something blocked there. This moon is so strong. It's like someone's farting at the moon. Maybe emotions are a little stinky. It's cool. Remember, if it's you can soothe yourself. Just make sure you're doing that in a healthy way. Especially because this card is drinking or whatever. It's something that's unhealthy. If you do things again with temperance, right, with moderation, then you'll be fine. I see you're allowed a glass of wine. A glass of wine, right? Not 9. A glass of wine, not 9. And again, if you get too stuck in your head and your prayers aren't seeming to work, or you don't feel like you're, again, being heard in some kind of way, then talk to somebody who cares, right? Talk to somebody who understands and respects you. And again, not to reiterate here, but I feel like it's important. Keep your loving, positive, optimistic self. Like, love yourself. Again, most of the other signs are like, it was all about like loving each other. I mean, some people were talking about boundaries too, but this is more like You're not even needing to make a huge boundary with anyone. It's just like, if there is a blockage somewhere, like an interruption, then just focus on yourself. Okay? See life as a creative journey. You know, I told it, Aries talked about this one time. If there's something that you need to do, that you don't feel like it, right? Because this could be one of those things too, where someone's like, I know I need to do that, but I'm just going to go sit on, I mean, granted, we all need to relax, and you especially is one of the bigger signs that needs to learn how to relax, but remember, it's temperance. Not too much one way or the other, okay? And what are your projects that you're working on right now? It could be with work, but I feel like this is more just for yourself. Like, I don't know. Are you working on a creative project right now? Or what are you learning about? You love to learn, right? Hawk. And how can you take what you're learning or what you're creating? I want you to maybe think about some of the plans you could do with that too, right? Maybe some of you could take some of the things you create and turn that into a small business on the side. You know, maybe it's something you'd want to put out to the world. I don't know, maybe more like next year, you know, or something like that where... Good morning, Coral. Good morning, Hawk. You know, think about these kinds of things. Don't worry about the world. And who is it that you really do love? Where you have no question whether they love you back. And maybe the ones where you're just like, do you care? Like, what's up? You know, that kind of thing. It's like, well, again, whatever figure out what you're wanting there from that person or what have you. And maybe give it to yourself, you know? I don't know, maybe for some of you, you're like married, you get a spouse or whatever. I'm seeing this scenario now. And it's like, you know, like, he never takes me out on a date. It's just like, well, take yourself out on a date, honey. Dress yourself up, go out. And when they're like, where are you going, babe? Be like, going out. Going on a date with myself. I'm going on a date. You don't even got to tell them. See what, you know, not to make a little drama or something, but just kind of like, be yourself. Don't restrict. You know, maybe there needs to be a bit of a shake-up in a healthy way. Put someone back in check. Get somebody else out of their stuck zone, right? Out of their complacency or something. Huh. Interessante. Alright, that's that. I love you so much. Well, you're a funny reading. This is a different energy. Actually, when I woke up this morning, I went outside and there was this bright star and I thought it was Jupiter. But it wasn't. It was, it was Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. And then Mars and Regal. Beetlejuice is the left shoulder of the Orion, and Regal is the right foot. And then there was Mars and Sirius. Mars was in the horn, the right horn of Taurus, right on the end of it. And Sirius is the mouth of the dog. So that whole constellation there, beyond the dog is cool, but it's kind of like that other chunk, that other triangle in the constellations. It makes a scenario where it's kind of conflicting. Okay, it's like a little bit of a battle there. So make sure you're taking, again, that Mars kind of energy, your action sort of energy, even your frustration, and really try to put that in a place like that's productive. Because otherwise you'll get in your head, and you know what it's like when you get in your head and you can't get out. You know, it's like a labyrinth from there. Okay? And again, if you do get stuck in your head or you start to go too deep internally with all that water, because it isn't always your strong suit, then call somebody, talk to somebody, connect with somebody that, again, helps you to shift emotionally. You know, that understands you, that, again, that loves you. And I feel like this would be a person that's been in your life. You know, maybe it's an old friend or a family member or whoever. That'll help. And whoever is being difficult, wherever all that is, I do see that people, it's not that people don't love each other. It's not that. It's just like there's pain in there some way, somehow. But I don't think, if this has to do with other people, you can't do anything about that in this time. It's like their own thing, their own confusion or whatever. So again, whatever you are wanting. I know sometimes we got to drill it in with mutable signs. Whatever it is that you are wanting from someone else, make it happen for yourself. Okay? I love you so much. I really hope this was helpful. And thank you for having patience. I know sometimes when fire energy comes at the end of the roster, it can be like, but I'm sure you've been busy with a lot of things. So also believe in what you've been doing, what you've been achieving, and see that, you know, because that physical action, again, that Nine of Pentacles is going to help you too, right? When a house is all clean, when something's all cleaned up, it feels different, right? When there's action taken and it's for good intention, score. Love you so much. Talk to you later. Peace.